Hey, what's going on? Jeff Ratcliffe here. It's fantasy draft season. Fantasy football is almost here. You might be looking at your leagues and saying, hey, things are a little bit stale. We've been using this format for a number of years. We want to spice things up a little bit. So I'm going to give you 5 ways that you could possibly make your fantasy league more exciting. One of the top ways, number one for me, you want to change things up. Even if you're in a 12-team league, but especially if you're in a 10-team league, add a second quarterback. Now you can do that one of 2 ways. You could just add a second quarterback starting spot, or you could add what we call a super flex. So that's a flex spot that you could play a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, right? You can put any of them in that spot. Here's where it changes things up for you though. If you're in a regular 12-team league, you can expect roughly 18 to 20 quarterbacks will be rostered at any given point. But what we've seen in this pass-heavy era that we're in now in the NFL, there might be 24, 25 quarterbacks who could actually put up viable fantasy numbers in a week-in, week-out basis. So that means your waiver wire always has players on it. In a 2-quarterback league, if you're in a 12-team league, 24 quarterbacks are starting, all 32 starters are rostered. Your waiver wire doesn't have anybody on it, so it doesn't give people that advantage of, well, hey, I can stream quarterback. I can just go get a quarterback whenever I want. That makes it more exciting, and it definitely makes it more challenging. Another way you could spice up your league a little bit, why don't you go tight end premium? Now, what does that mean, tight end premium? If you're in a PPR league, right, or a half-point PPR league, that applies to every player. Running backs get a point per reception, wide receivers, tight ends, they all get a point per reception. In a tight end premium league, the tight ends will now get extra points for those receptions. So it could be 1.5 points, or if you're in a half-point PPR, tight ends get a full point for their receptions. This boosts up that relative value of tight ends because tight end is brutal this year. There's not a lot of great options, but it makes those fringe options just a little bit more valuable. And now also, if you're in leagues with a flex spot, now all of a sudden you have to start considering, who do I flex out? Do I flex a tight end? There's going to be fewer tight ends on your waiver wire as well, just like in that quarterback, 2-quarterback league. So tight end premium. Here's another one. Now, not all league commissioner sites are going to allow you to do this, but this is an interesting one that some leagues are starting to use. Not points per reception. Okay, we know that. You probably have already made that switch. Everybody's made that switch long ago. Points per first down. We know first downs are so important in the NFL, but we rarely score them for fantasy purposes. So you could do this. Now, I don't recommend passing first downs for quarterbacks. I just recommend rushing first downs and receiving first downs. 1 point per, or you could do a half point per, and you could also do tight end premium. Tight ends get 1.5 points for a first down. It adds another wrinkle into the league that we've seen in the past. Like I said, PPR, even some do points per carry for running backs. Points per first down, it's the next generation, and it's a really cool way to make your league more exciting. Another one, how about starting deeper rosters? The industry standard out there used to be 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex. Now it's more 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and a flex. Why don't we make it 4 running backs or 3 running backs and 5 or 6 wide receivers and multiple flex spots, right? Why don't we make the rosters deeper? And the logic here, again, I'll keep going back to this, when you have waiver wires that are chock full of value, you're giving advantages to people in the league who don't draft particularly well. So now we have a deeper roster. That means you're gonna have to draft well, and you're gonna have to really be on your game working the waiver wire because it's going to be very, very thin. And the other thing this will do if you expand your starting rosters is it could potentially drum up more interest for trades in your leagues. So it makes things a little bit more exciting when there are trades. Finally, another way to make your league more exciting. Obviously, hey, I know a lot of people got rid of kicker already. Some people are getting rid of team defense and replacing it with IDP. That's individual defensive player. So you're actually starting the players. You're starting Luke Kuechly, not the Carolina Panthers defense, right? Now, if you're going to go IDP, I don't recommend just dipping your toe in one defensive player. You know what? You're going to have your option, your pick of the litter on the waiver wire every single week if you just have one guy. If you're going to go IDP, you want to make it exciting, go all in. 1 defensive line, 3 linebackers, 2 defensive backs, and a flex. Start them all. That waiver wire is going to be thin, and it's going to give an advantage, obviously, to folks who know the defensive side of the ball. But even if you don't and you're a little reluctant, you know what's going to happen? Getting to know those defensive players, you're now going to know the defensive players who are going up against your offensive players. It's going to make you better on the offensive side of the ball, and it's definitely going to make your league more exciting. So, 2 quarterback or super flex, tight end premium, point per first down, deeper rosters, and IDP. 5 ways that you can make your fantasy league much more exciting this year in 2018. What are some of the ways you've made your league more exciting? Give us a comment below. Of course, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and go check out all the fantasy football goodness at ProFootballFocus.com.